Wrath of the Spider Queen was pretty good, although I might be alone on this, at least on some extent, because the last time I checked this seems to be the least rated episode on IMDB, which I disagree. Honestly, I thought this was even better than Big Boogie Adventure, and I'll explain why. The movie follows two different plots that are closely linked. One where Velma the Spider Queen wants to eat Grimm's head in order to become the Grim Reaper like she always wanted to, and another where Jeff the Spider wants to invite Billy to his wedding, and I enjoyed both side plots equally. What I liked about Grimm's side of the story is seeing how he first became the Grim Reaper, and yes, I'm aware how it contradicts with certain episodes, but honestly, if you're concerned about consistent continuity with Billy and Mandy, you're watching the wrong show. And also having a closer look at Grimm's high school life, where we even got to witness certain side characters that we've met in previous episodes. Velma was an entertaining character to watch, and her relationship with Grimm was interesting enough to keep me engaged. I also like how the episode ended with Billy disapproving Jeff's marriage with Velma, which was clearly meant to be a joke, and since we weren't giving enough time to care about the relationship, to the point where we would feel heartbroken or skeptical towards the sudden breakup, it allows us to be more accepting of the joke and humorously highlight the incompetency of the underworld judge from Keeper of the Reaper.
Wait a second. If my dad disapproves of this wedding, then so do I. This marriage is over.
So be it. I take it all back. I'm still gonna need my $50.
The episode then finally ends with Velma taking over the planet, which is the type of parody of happy endings that you expect from this show. The second plot follows Billy and Jeff's complicated relationship, which finally takes a new and advancing step, which by the end Billy ends up accepting Jeff as his son. I also found Jeff acting very emo after he confronted Billy to be pretty hilarious. One issue I had with this side of the story is the part about the arachnid god of anger, which felt kinda confusing. He claims to be a spider god, but he was directly manipulating Billy instead of Jeff for some reason. Maybe he did that as a plan to leave Jeff angry, although when you analyze how Billy ultimately threw a tantrum, you'd realize that his plan would be way too overly specific. There's also another milk carton that was the opposite of the god of anger, but he wasn't actually real. One could say that he was the manifestation of Billy's guilt, but he was alive even before Billy and Jeff had a fight, so yeah, I really can't piece together by myself. I even remember being legitimately confused when I first watched this movie. To wrap up the story, there's also another side plot with Mandy and Mindy, which while that was probably the side plot I care for the least, it was pretty fun watching them both work together. There's also this fight scene that makes me feel very conflicted because on one hand it was out of place when accounting the tone and context of the movie, but on the other hand it was really fun. In regards to the more technical side, something else that makes me like this movie more than Big Boogie Adventure is that it has a spookier tone, especially because of how most of the movie takes place at night, with even a few instances of storm hits, and how the musical score was toned down. Not to say that the background music was perfect. One thing that kind of triggers me is how the main theme song, which is also the song that Velma sings whenever she wants to summon the spiders, if you pay attention, it's a mix of recycled vocals used in previous episodes.
Please, happy, please.
Not that it makes the song bad, but it is a step backwards given how this show usually has original musical scores in every episode. The humor was good, although I will say that the dialogue was a bit more surreal than usual, especially in the first half, though to be fair it could have been a lot stranger. I'm of course referencing Moon to Moon, where not only the dialogue and visual gags felt more surreal than usual, but even the pacing felt kind of off-putting. Don't get me wrong, I'm not saying I don't like that episode, in fact it was my favorite Invaded special, but you have to admit that episode was crazier than usual. In this movie, however, the pacing at least felt stable. Going off topic, it seems that this movie ended up airing on Cartoon Network a few weeks back. I never got the chance to see it since I don't have USA's Cartoon Network, which is unfortunate because it would have been nice to see this movie in full HD, since I've only seen it with an 4:3 aspect ratio. So yeah, this is a good movie, I'd recommend you watch it as well. Sorry this video was a bit short, but there's no way I could have made this long without dragging on even more. So my next review will be the movie I've been waiting to review since last Halloween. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Bye for now.